These bananas are great. Turk the gorilla said to her friend Tarzan, as they sat on the branch of a tall banana tree. Remember the first time you tried to get your own bananas? Tarzan laughed. How could I forget? He asked. Tarzan and Turk smiled as they remembered the day years before, when Tarzan had tried to pick a bunch of bananas all by himself. Tarzan had been about 5 years old. He and Turk were exploring the jungle. You'll never catch me, Turk cried as she raced ahead. Tarzan did his best to keep up, but he had a strange shape for a gorilla, and sometimes it slowed him down. The other apes didn't really think Tarzan fit in, but Turk had tried to be his friend since the day Tarzan's ape mother, Kala, had found him. Suddenly, Turk stopped in her tracks. Tarzan caught up to her and whispered. Why did you stop? Can't you smell the bananas? She asked. Tarzan inhaled. He couldn't sell anything, Turk sighed, then pointed above them. Tarzan looked up. He couldn't see anything, either. There aren't any bananas up there, he said, folding his arms across his chest. Turk planted her hands on her hips. Want a bet? She asked. Then, turning to the tree, she scrambled up its thick trunk. Looking around, Tarzan bit his lip. Turk made it seem as if climbing trees was easy. But it wasn't, at least not for Tarzan. He ran toward the tree and jumped as high as he could. Unfortunately, it was a long way from the top. Turk laughed and dropped a banana peel on Tarzan's head. Tarzan, you are one strange gorilla, she cried. Tarzan said to the ground. Now he was even more determined to follow her. He wasted a banana, not just a peel. And he wanted to show Turtle that he was just as good a gorilla as she was, even if he looked different. Tarzan decided to try a different approach. He hugged the tree and tried to inch up the bank. But he didn't get very far, and after a few moments didn't hold on anymore. Within seconds, Tarzan fell to the ground. His gorilla mother, Kala, saw him and hurried over. Why don't you stay with me this afternoon? She suggested as she picked him up. Tarzan reached over Kala's shoulder and grabbed a vine that was hanging from the tree next to Turk's. He used the vine to swing himself onto a low branch. Turk always says I'm a strange gorilla, Tarzan told his mother. I want to be like everybody. Balancing carefully, he stood up and reached for the branch above his head. That's why I'm going to climb this tree and get bunch of bananas. Tarzan, Kala said, you are not strange, you're special. But Tarzan had already started to pull himself up onto the next branch. Tarzan grabbed another branch and swung his leg up and over it. He did the same thing, moving from branch to branch until he was almost at the top. Then he inched his way out on a limb. Ho hum. Turk yawned and threw another banana peel at Tarzan. It missed him and fell to the ground. Tarzan strained to reach the next branch. Chirp, chirp. A group of baby birds stretched their necks to peck out of their nest. Tarzan smiled at them. Ah! Tarzan cried suddenly. A mother bird had just swooped down near him. He stood up, and the thin branch beneath him swayed. Tarzan reached out and grabbed a vine. He used it to swing to the branch just below. Oof! Tarzan grunted as he landed. Just then, he heard a strange noise coming from a large hole in the tree right in front of him. He wondered what it could be. He peeked into the hole and his jaw dropped at what he saw there. Bees! Bzzz. Bzzz. Arrgh. Tarzan turned and ran along the branch as the angry bees swarmed out of the hole. He began to slide on the wet moss covering the branch. Whoosh! Tarzan slid down the tree limbs so fast that he quickly left the bees far behind. He felt as if he were surfing. Soon the branch got smaller. Tarzan tried to slow down before he reached the end, but he was going too fast. He did not know how to stop. "Help me!" Tarzan cried as he flew right into Turk's tree, but Turk wasn't there anymore. Tarzan landed on another mossy branch and slid past a family of surprised baboons. Then, he hit a bunch of bananas. Clutching the bananas to his chest, Tarzan fell to the ground. He landed right in the middle of his gorilla family. "Tarzan, you really are one strange gorilla," Turk said. "Are you okay?" Kala cried. She hurried over and pulled Tarzan to his feet. "I'm fine," he answered sheepishly. Kala smiled. "I see you got those bananas you were looking for," she said, picking one out of the bunch. She peeled it and took a big bite. "Delicious," she exclaimed. "Why, I do believe this is the best banana I have ever tasted. And you've brought back enough for everyone, how thoughtful." Tarzan, Turk, and Kala walked home carrying the bananas. Tarzan handed them out to the other gorillas. "These look really good," one of the gorillas exclaimed. "Yeah, thanks," another cried. "Turk never brings us bananas," one of the younger gorillas pointed out. Turk looked embarrassed. Tarzan laughed. "Have a banana," he said to her. Turk smiled and took the fruit. "Thanks," she said. "The bananas do look good." "Sure," said Tarzan. "I've never been surfing in the jungle before. I bet I'll always remember it." "And I always have," the grown-up Tarzan said, as he finished the story. He offered some fruit to Turk. "Have a banana," he said, smiling. "Tarzan," she said with a laugh, "you are one special gorilla."